7 months ago, President Obama called it one of the most serious economic and national security challenges we face as a nation. And today, a czar was put in place to monitor cybersecurity. Howard Schmidt, who also served in the Bush administration, was chosen as the White House appointment, and he faces a daunting challenge. For more on the scale of attacks already taking place and what can be done to stop them, I'm joined now by Sami Sajri, the founder and president of Cyber Defense Agency. Sami, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us briefly what are the biggest threats out there?
Oh, they're quite significant. There are 12 critical infrastructures, but the most significant threat is to the electrical power grid. And some estimates have been that the power grid can be taken down for 6 months to about the 70% level across the country, which would be a very devastating attack on the United States.
So the new cybersecurity person has quite a job in terms of trying to deal not just obviously with his own department, but he's got to cooperate with quite a wide range of authorities.
Yes, almost all of them. I mean, so we have the Secretary of Treasury because of the potential on banking. We have telecommunications. All 12 infrastructures have all bureaucracies involved in them. So orchestrating them is going to be quite a challenge.
So then who takes the lead?
Well, I think the notion is the cyber czar is intended to set the vision and take the lead. The challenge is that he doesn't have budgetary authority over any of the bureaucracies, and so it's more of a bully pulpit than it is an authority position.
So he's going to have to shout loudly to get things done?
Or be very convincing and very competent in setting the vision and be compelling to the people who have to follow him.
Now, I wanted to ask you about the Wall Street Journal had this story about a bunch of hackers breaking into Citigroup, something the bank denied. I mean, it sounds like something straight out of the pages of a thriller. But is that the kind of thing we should be worried about in the future, actual theft rather than terrorism?
Well, I think sabotage is our most serious concern. So theft actually is a minor concern compared to somebody who's interested in doing maximum damage to the United States. We ran a scenario a couple of years ago for the National Security Council in support of looking at national policy, and we estimated the damages to be in the $1 trillion range for a multi-attack on banking, telecommunications, oil and gas, across the board if somebody wanted to do strategic damage to us.
So that's, I mean, the sort of strategic end of things. Where does something like the recent sort of hacking into the images by those US drones, I mean, that seems to me less of the kind of sabotage you're talking about and more just someone trying to get access to things to sort of see if they can do it?
Yeah, I think that kind of attack is more of an indication of what's to come as opposed to a serious kind of concern. It just clearly points out that attacks in cyberspace are going to be a part of warfare, as it was in Georgia in the Russia conflict with Georgia. Cyber was a serious component there, and now we're seeing cyber as being a main component of military operations. And military is integrating information technology more and more and more, and so the risk level that we're taking through cyber attack is increasing.
So I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you very much for sharing that with us.
You're most welcome. My pleasure.